A few weeks ago, this crew and some others, there were 28 of us that got back from a mission trip to Montana, where we served at the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in a small town called Heart Butte. And we had a wonderful group of kids that went, and they are going to share a few of their stories from the week, because there were lots of different activities and service projects that we did. So I'm just going to let them tell a few stories.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and I asked to talk about service projects. And on this trip, I went along, and I've been to a couple previous mission trips, and I thought, not painting. I don't want to do any more painting. And I shoveled poop instead. So, but yeah, you can even have fun with that when you're with friends and you're making new friends. And we arrived in Montana. I don't remember what day of the week it was. It's too far back now. But first day, as our church group, we went into Glacier and we got to see all the beauty there. And then that evening, we arrived at YouthWorks, which they have stations set up all over the country, and they send staff out there, and they run this basically all summer. New group of kids every week, and then it gets a little more regimented. And every day, 6 hours, basically morning into the early afternoon, we would be doing service work. And there were different groups. So my group, we helped cleaned up a lady's house where the tribal elections were going to be held the next day, because we were on a reservation, a Blackfoot reservation. But overall, it was just cool because the service work gives you a chance to meet members in the community and interact with them. And so one person we helped clean up, he had kind of stables and a big yard and everything else. And afterwards, he let us see the inside of his sweat lodge, which was really cool because, Native Americans will go in there and they'll, burn herbs and stuff and sweat. And it's a cool ceremonial thing for them. But yeah, it was just a good time. The other secret I probably shouldn't let our parents know was that a lot of the time, every evening we got together as a church group and we would discuss, what were the highs and lows of the day, and we'd sing some songs. And a lot of the highs by the end of the week were, I loved doing this service project. I loved, whatever the group was doing that day. And, like I said, shouldn't tell parents that because we don't want any more chores. But it was just really cool because that's kind of, you can see the impact we're making on the community when you come home and it's like, yeah, we painted this person's house and we cleaned up here and did this and this. And so that was a really neat part of it.
I just want to add, they did all these unglamorous service projects, and they did not complain once. Things you would never get them to do at home, but they did without complaining and had fun doing it.
So, unlike Jordan, I went into the trip really hoping that I'd get to paint something. And the first 2 days, my group ended up working the kids club, where we split up into groups into the 4 different stations, and we're able to organize what we're going to do for the day, and then we get to have the kids come, and that starts at about 1 o'clock. That kids club starts, so we have the kids from 1 until 3, and so that's kind of fun getting to know the kids, and they've got lots of energy. And the second day of kids club, in the morning we cleaned the highway, so we did roadside cleanup. And then on Wednesday, my group went to a community member's house. It was this elderly lady, and we scraped and painted her deck and helped put up a smaller version of a carport. Well, we started it at least. It was a little confusing. Bill worked hard on that. And then after we were done painting our deck, we got to sit down and just talk with her. And I think that's one of the most special parts about work projects, is getting to connect with the community members and getting to hear their stories. And so talking to this lady was really cool. And afterwards, she let us go. She had a teepee in her backyard. Oh, this beautifully painted teepee. So we got to go inside, and it's amazing how big they are inside. You could have probably slept 8 or 10 people in there, and it didn't look that big from the outside. So that was cool. And then Thursday it was raining, so we ended up staying at the school that we were staying at, and we painted one of the hallways. And that was fun because we got to get to know the other people. Each group has half of them are from one church and half are from the other church. So Thursday was really our day to really get to know the other church in our group. So that was fun.
I'm Austin Dominoes, and it was a great mission trip, and the thing that amazed me the most was the culture. They believed in God, the Creator, and they believed in Him because of a guy blessed an Indian to tell them that there was one Creator that created everything, and explain to them that how everything was created. And it amazes me that God even gives Indians a chance to show that they can be part of God, they can follow God, they can be with Him, even if they don't know Jesus, even if they didn't go through everything they went through in the Bible. Just God gave them a chance.
Hi, I'm Emma Whiteman, and touching up more on Emma's story, when we did our work project, like she said, we scraped and painted a porch, and that was really cool. And then talking to Naomi, she really summed up the gospel in about 20 minutes, and that was pretty cool. And she told her history and how she grew up and living on the reservation and stuff. And then with Kids Club, these kids are nuts. They go crazy, and they're just so excited to see you, and they just want to hug you and run at you, and they're just these lively little guys just running around, and it's kind of a handful. But after a while, it's like, you know what? These kids are great. They don't come from the best homes, and they don't come from parents who love them like you guys, and that's hard to see. But after a while, you really get to hear the kids' stories and listen to them and get to know them, and I think that's what's really cool and impacting their lives. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Lillian Schmitz, and I was part of a group called OSC, which is Outrageous Sports Camp, and we did basketball the whole week with the older group of kids, like 10 and up, and we'd go there, after we had breakfast, we would go do a service project like clean or paint. And then at 1 after lunch, we would go to the basketball courts and play with these kids. And at the beginning of the week, they were didn't want us there. And they were just like, can we just play basketball? We don't want to play with you guys. You're not good. But by the end of the week, they were excited to have us there, and they loved playing basketball with us. It was really fun to get to know the kids too, because they were around our age, so we were able to talk to them, which was really nice to know. We got to get to know some of the backgrounds of the kids and how they felt on a subject, so it was pretty good to get to know all the kids like that.
All right. Hi, I'm Emily, and I just kind of want to share a story about one of the work projects we went to. A couple people in this group. It was kind of like 4 girls from this group and a couple boys, and we painted a man's house, and he was like one of those people that was really special, that like they went up to the mountain, and like because the mountain is like sacred place, and you go up there and you fast and like you pray and just be with God. And so he did that, and he came back down, and he was so changed, and now he can share all that he learned with everyone else. And after we were done painting, we just kind of like sat there talking to him, and he shared with us some knowledge of and like all the stuff he thought about the Creator, and it was amazing. And he had so much, he believed so deeply. And when we were done, he prayed for us and blessed us and thanked us for helping him. And how he did it was like he braids like some sort of grass, like something from nature, and he'll light it on fire, and then the smoke will he'll wave the smoke around, and that kind of creates the whole atmosphere. And then he prays and he sings for us, and then he just blessed us and told us may the Creator always be with you. And it was amazing. It was great how much it meant to everyone.
All right, I'm Sarah Kleist, and I just wanted to touch up on Kids Club and then talk about how we ended our days. And in Kids Club, 2 things I wanted to bring up that were really cool was how they got there. Like some kids would walk or bike, or their parents would take them there a little early because they served lunch at the high school, which is where it was. We also had the vans we had that were rented just put a big like magnet on the side that said Kids Club, and you drive into the neighborhood, and they just like honk the horn and scream out the window. They're like, Kids Club! And all the kids would come running. They were like so excited, and I wasn't actually part of this, but I had been told about how awesome it was by like all the kids just came running in. They all were super excited for Kids Club. It was like their highlight of the week. And I thought that was just really cool how the week started with all the kids, and they were just like, I don't want to be here. And then by the end, when we had gotten to know them and made friends, they were all super excited. Still a little rambunctious, but it was great. Emma Whiteman got the kids to do squats and jumping jacks and had us work out to make them relax. And Pam came in and taught them yoga. So when we got a little out of hand, the kids did yoga, you know, whatever worked. And then we also, if you looked on the slideshow, there were some rainbows, which I thought was really cool. It was one of the days we went to Green Lake, which is what they pretty much just called the lake, because obviously in Montana, unlike Minnesota, lakes are kind of special. You know, we have lakes everywhere. But we went to the lake, and we got into our church groups, and we held hands and we prayed. And not only was it really awesome just being a whole group as like a church family and praying, but it rained, and normally it rains like, oh no, let's go inside. But it was just really like spiritual and really cool. And then afterward, I mean, the sun came out and there was a double rainbow, and it was just on the lake, and it was just really beautiful. And it was just great. And also one of the days we went to Glacier, and we were there, and there was a bunch of activities we did, and there was another rainbow, and it was just looking at God's creation and how he had blessed us was really cool. So at the end of the day, we'd do like 2 things called Golden Goose or Yay God, and they called them Golden Gooses instead of Golden Geese. I don't know why. But it was pretty much like, say, yay, I really enjoyed this part of the day, or I think a person should just be recognized for something good they did today. And I thought that was really nice, just to end on a happy note. And so it'd be like a golden goose to so-and-so for just being really happy, or fixing the weed whacker, or being a good sport when they lost at cards, or whatever they did. Yeah, there was a golden goose to Jordan because he was the card champion, and then he lost once that week. So it was just a great week, and we had tons of fun, and it was just such a happy time.
Just kind of in closing, I think all of you can be really proud of this group of kids, and we thank you for all your support. We talked about it at the beginning that what we wanted to do was follow in what Pastor Andy has started us out this year with in Micah 6:8, to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with God. And they all just really represented that so well on this trip. And you can be really grateful to have these youth representing us here from Lutheran Church of the Cross.